Hello everybody, hang on, let's turn that off, that's better. Okay, how are you all? I'm sorry I'm a little late this week because I've had a cold and I've been sneezing, and I didn't want to sneeze all over the video and sniffle, so I'm feeling a bit better. Hopefully I won't sneeze. So I showed you last week, we're going to make these hair clips this week. Now they're made on a base like this, which I got from Fire Mountain Gems. I will put a link in the description box so you can know where to get those. I don't know if you can get them somewhere else. These are the ones that I'm using. I think they do a few other colors like gunmetal and maybe like a sort of aged brass or something. Anyway, so they're sewn on to the base after I make the component. This is them in white, so you could do any kind of color combination that you like. I really like this blue. It's kind of denim almost. Yeah, I really like this, so I'm going to be making some more of these ones. Okay. So aside from the hair clips, you're going to need some Superduos. I'm using the full Labrador color, and I've checked all of these to make sure that the holes are not plugged up. I've got 16. These are just size 11 seed beads. I think these are actually the Czech Preciosa ones, or however Preciosa ones. I don't know how you say that word. I think it's Preciosa. I think these are those. I don't know. I've just put them in a tube and they're not labeled. So anyway, these ones that I'm using have a kind of, some of them are kind of reddish, some of them are bluish, but you can use any color that goes with your project. You'll also need some 8/0 beads that go with your project. You will need 8mm rounds. So for these, I'm using, these are sodalite gemstones, but here, for instance, I just used pearls, glass pearls, Swarovski pearls, so you can use whatever you want. And here, these bits, I've put 3mm bicones just because I want a little bit more sparkle, but you could also just use your 8/0s if you were using a strong color of 8/0s where the 8/0s are. You could use an 8/0. But on these ones, I decided to go ahead and use some 3mm AB Swarovski crystals, bicones. So, and then you'll need some thread. I'm using 6-pound Fireline and crystal, and your beading needle, and that's it. Let's get started. So I've got about a wingspan of thread because I sew the component onto the base with this thread, so I want a nice long bit. It's not quite a wingspan, it's probably a little bit less. Okay, so we're going to pick up 1 11/0 and 3 Superduos, and we're going to repeat 4 times. So 1 11/0, 3 Superduos. So that's 2 sets. 1 11/0. 2. Uh-oh, that one's plugged. I thought I checked all these. Darn it. Okay, 3 Superduos. And one more time. 1 11/0 and 3 Superduos, and I'm going to push it down to the bottom. So on my thread I have 4 sets, so 4 sets, 1 and 1 11/0, 3 Superduos, 1 11/0, 3 Superduo, 1 11. So that's what I have. Okay, so I'm going to sew through the 11O and 2 Superduos. To form a ring. So I'm coming out the middle Superduo of this 3. I'm going to go into the upper hole. So I'm coming out from this side, so I'm going in the opposite side and changing direction. Okay, so wherever there is nothing in between, we're going to add an 8O. And wherever we have our 11O in between, we're going to add another Superduo. And we're going to go all the way around doing this. So you're going to go 2 8Os, so 1 there, one there, and then here, because we have the 11O, we're going to add our Superduo. That one's a weird shape. I'm not going to use that one. Okay, that one's good. Some of these are a lot thinner than others. Okay. There we go. Oops. Let me move these because I'm going to get caught on them. Okay. And here I need to add a Superduo. And just use the end of your tail to try and keep it tight together at the moment. We will circle back around soon and tie off the tail. Okay, I need one more that's not plugged up. Hang on, let's see this one. Yay, okay. And last one. Okay, so I'm coming back out the Superduo that I started at on the side. If you aren't at this Superduo, I call this the side because see how these two are like pointing out, so that's like the corner, this is like the side. So if you aren't coming out of the middle Superduo, work your way around until you are coming out of the middle Superduo. Now what we're going to do is we're going to pick up 5 11Os. Okay. And I'm coming out from here, this side of the Superduo, or I'm going to go in from the other side, the same side that, in the same direction I've been traveling, I should say. Okay, so it should just look like that, like a lump. Okay, then I'm going to go through my 8O, and I'm going to pick up another 8O, and I'm going to go through the Superduo at the corner, the outer hole of the Superduo. So this upper hole. Okay, now I'm going to pick up 5 11Os. Okay. And I'm going to enter from the other side so I went through that way. I'm just making a loop basically. I'm going through. Okay, now I'm going to pick up an 8O to fill this gap and go through the 8O. And I'm going to go through the Superduo as well. Okay, now I'm going to pick up 5. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5 again, and I'm going to go through the Superduo from the far side and the 8-0. So I'm just going to keep doing this all the way around, adding an 8-0 between here and here, and then adding 5, and then adding an 8-0, passing through the Superduo. So let's just work our way around quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 8-0, so I'm passing through the 8-0 and the Superduo there just to save time. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to a bead show tomorrow, or either tomorrow or Sunday, I'm not sure, the Santa Monica Bead and Design show, which I've never been to, so I'm really excited about that. Should be interesting. Okay, 5. I don't really know what to expect. I think they have other stuff as well as beads there, so it might be an expensive outing. That one's kind of puny. I'm not going to use that one. 1, 2. Okay. Okay, we're nearly back where we started this round. Nearly. And so when you get to the end, you'll have to add an 8-0 into the 8-0, and then we're going to stop at the 8-0, okay? So that's the first round. So the second round, we're not adding any beads in this round, we're reinforcing. So we're going to go up these 2, and we're going to skip the point. So we're going to skip the point, and we're going to go down. We are going to do it. Come on. Okay, we're going to go down those 2 and then through the 8-0s. And you're going to do that at every single point. So you're going to go through the 2 8-0s, you're going to go up, skip that, go down, up, skip that, go down. Okay, so I will do that and I will meet you back here in a minute. Okay, I'm just going to finish off my last corner here, so I'm skipping that one, and I will go through the 2 8-0s again. So now it looks prettier, the points are all pulled up, but that's not it. We're gonna reinforce. So we're going to go all the way around the outside again, including the end beads, because they only have one pass through them and they're sticking out. So I want you to go all the way around again and pause the video, do that, and I will see you back here in a second. Okay, so I'm nearly finished reinforcing. I'm just coming out my last point. I need to work my way to here. So I'm just going to go out of the 8-0 on that side. And that means I'm finished reinforcing. So I'm going to go through the Superduo, the top of the Superduo. And this is tricky. here, you're going to go through the bottom of the Superduo. These beads can be quite tight, which is why I didn't want you to tie a knot at the beginning, because you may need to kind of wiggle around a little. So I'm coming out the bottom of this middle Superduo. I'm going to go through the next Superduo and the 11-0. Now I'm going to pick up one of my 8-0 rounds, and I picked these two beads because they're kind of similar in color. Sodalite can vary a lot, but I just thought I'd get two that kind of look like they match. So if I'm coming out the bottom of this one, I'm going to go in the bottom of the one opposite, the 11-0 that's opposite. And then I'm going to go through the 8-0 again. And I'm just going to gently pull it. Now, I don't want to pull it so tight that it like sort of scrunches up the beadwork. It should just be sitting almost flat on the beadwork like that. It shouldn't be in the middle. It should kind of be sitting up a little bit. So you're going to see a teeny bit of thread right here, but we're going to cover that up, so don't worry. Okay, so I've just gone that way. So I came out the top here, went through the bead, so I'm going to go into the top here. Of that 11-0 opposite, going from top to bottom. And I'm going to pass back through again, through the 8mm. And I'm going to go from bottom to, if I can get into the bead, bottom, yay, bottom to top. Okay. Now, let's look at my tail. I'm actually going to push it up to the front so you can see where it is. All right, my tail is coming out from this 11-0 right here. Because if you remember at the very beginning, we picked up an 11-0 3 Superduos, so we went that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch through these 3 Superduos, and then I'm going to meet my tail and tie a knot. All right, so let's tighten this up a little bit. It should feel solid, like not floppy. Okay, but you don't want it so tight that it starts to warp or anything. Okay, so now I'm going to tie a square knot. So I'm going right over left, pull that nice and tight, left over right. Beautiful. Okay, I am going to thread my needle onto my tail, and I'm going to get rid of my tail, and I'm going to show you where to put your tail to get rid of it. Okay, I'm going to go into that 11-0. This can be very tricky, so just be patient. The angles here, I'm going into the 11-0 and the Superduo, and you might have to just kind of bend your beadwork a little bit to get in there. It's tight. I'm going to go through the next 2. Yeah, I did it in one pass. Oops, sorry. And then I'm going to go through this 11-0. And I'm going to go through my 8mm, and because I'm not passing through my 8mm anymore, I'm just going to leave the thread there. I'm going to cut it because I know that I'm not passing out from there anymore, and my thread end will be nice and safe in there. So that was my tail end discarded. So now I've only got my working thread left. And I will just thread the end of that. Okay, so I'm on this side of this 11-0. I'm going to pick up 4 11-0s and one of my 3mm bicones, or you could pick up just one of your 8-0s. Depending on your color scheme, you might want to just use one of your 8-0s. Okay, so I'm coming out going this direction from this bead. I'm going to sew not in the direction that we're going, which would be this way, but I'm going to sew this opposite way back towards my tail thread. Okay, I know this seems a little weird, but this just trust me on this. So I'm sewing back towards my thread, and look, what this does is my thread is now coming out underneath, and this is like kind of arching over on the top. Then I'm going to sew through my 3mm, through my bicone. And so what that does is it's anchored it into this 11-0 here. So we're now going to pick up 4 more 11-0s, 1 bicone, and again I'm going to sew back towards where I'm coming from through the 11-0. Okay, keep your thread on top. You want your thread to be on top. And then I'm going to pass through the bicone. See, that's like attached it on. Oops. So again, 4 bicone backwards through the 11-0, and this is covering up all the ugly thread right there as well, so nobody can see that. Okay, and on the last one, I'm going to pick up 4 crystal through that 11-0. Get in there. Get does not want to go through. Okay, there we go. I'm just trying to be it's just the angle. There we go. There's not a whole bunch of thread in there. It should go fine. It's just a funky angle. Okay. There we go. And through the bicone, and then we're going to go all the way around. So through the whole ring. So that was 1 set. 2 sets. 3 sets. And 4 sets, and I'm going to go through the bicone as well. Okay, now as you've probably heard me say before, bicones are sharp, so I want to make sure that even if a bicone falls off, that these are not going to fall off. So we're going to sew through the 4 11-0s. And then we're going to sew into the 11-0 down below. So we're just going to skip the bicones. We're going to go all the way around doing this. So through the bottom 11-0. So we're anchoring the strands of 4 11-0s down onto the base without relying on the crystals. And you'll feel this kind of, you'll feel it suddenly becomes like, you see here it's kind of floppy and it suddenly becomes sturdy. I'm sorry, I know I like to reinforce everything, but you know, it's better safe than sorry, as they say. This is my last side that I need to anchor. Okay, so once you get through your 11-0, continue on through a super duo. If you can. There we go. And now it's time to attach this onto our base. So we're going to, what am I going to do? Actually, I'm going to go through the next super duo as well. And I'm going to work my way up to this hole, the outer hole of this corner. So I'm going to turn in this super duo. So coming out the bottom hole, going into the top hole, working along these 2 8-0s. And into the hole here. Okay, we're going to grab our base. So if you look at this base, it has like a top hole here, but it's these 2 side holes that we're going to be sewing into. So, and I like to start at the bottom because this bit's in the way. So it's easier when you can still move this thing around a lot to start at the bottom. So you'll notice where the super duo corners are will match up pretty nicely with the base. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm coming out on the top here. I'm going to just stab down next to this 8-0 to get down to the bottom. So I'm coming out this super duo. I'm just gonna put my thread down to the bottom of the work. So I'm coming out in the right place. So this is going to then attach on to this hole here. These 2 holes are what I'm using, so I'm going to pull that down. Okay, and I'm going to hold this approximately where I want it. You don't want to pull super tight. Now I need to move my thread around the clip to here, and I need to stab up next to the, so I'm basically stabbing up between the 8-0 and the Superduo. Make sure that that's in the right place, which it is. Okay, and I'm going to repeat this 2 or 3 times to get it nice and sturdy. So make sure I'm coming out the right hole on the bottom. Move around the hair clip. Go through the right hole and try and come up the right place on the top. There we go. And through the Superduo again. Okay, so I've sewn that twice. So I'm now going to work over to this corner. So I'm going to go through the 8 O's, and this is the bit that's tricky because your thread is going to want to get caught. Okay, through the Superduo and the 2 8 O's. Come on. And through that Superduo, then I'm going to line this up. So I'm going down and I'm going to come up here. And then I'm going to go down there, come up here, and repeat. And you're just going to do this on all 4 sides until you're finished. So I'll do that and I will come back. Okay, I've now sewn all 4 on, and you can see it does wiggle a little bit. If you wanted, you could get some glue and get a toothpick and stick it under there if you were really that worried about it. I'm not. Or you could sew around again and just tighten it up once it's in place, because you have to kind of start with it a little bit loose so that it gets in the right place. But yeah, it's fine, you guys, because really this bit is attached here. You're not gonna, you know, this is not gonna get a lot of wear when it's just stuck in your hair. It's not gonna be hitting stuff, and it can easily be sewn back on again if it comes off. But you can see, you can't even really see the thread, like just barely see it right there. Okay, so then just to tie it off, all I do is I just go through some of the edge beads, tie a knot, go through some more, tie a knot. So just kind of tie one, then I'll go up to a point. Pass through the loop. That, go back down to the 8 O's. Can't get in there. Get in there. Okay. And then I will just go out from a point and cut the thread. Actually, I'm not going to go out from, yeah, I will. I'll go out from this point because it's pretty well protected because of the hair thingy. So there you have it. Really pretty hair decor. So I hope you've liked this project. If you have, leave me a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I haven't yet figured out what I'm going to be doing next week. I am going to redo some of my older videos now that you can see what I'm doing a bit better. But I still want to keep bringing new content, so I'm working on that at the moment, but it'll be something fun. I will see you then. Have a good week. Bye.